Hello, Betty Krosick here. I have been queried from time to time since the beginning of the Israeli Hamas war, where I stand on the matter. And since yesterday, I have a very ready answer. I stand with Dr. Gabor Mate. Who is Dr. Gabor Mate? Most of you have heard of him, I think. Uh, he is a Canadian a physician and expert on intergenerational stress and trauma. He is a practicing Jew. He speaks with the knowledge of Palestinians in a way I haven't heard before, of a sympathetic and kindly observations of their experiences. He is extremely even-handed in his observations, but always with this willingness to connect at a very, I would say, emotional, but it isn't emotional in the sense of weeping and moaning. It is emotional in the sense of searching for deeper connections. And I appreciate very much what he has to say and what he has become since I have known him. Because when I first met him, he was the attending physician in 1996 in the palliative care ward in General Hospital in Vancouver General Hospital. And he attended my daughter, who was a patient there. She was diagnosed with incurable breast cancer, and she only lived for 3 weeks. This was in 1996, after her admission, and she left behind a little 4-year-old boy who I was impressed with Dr. Mate's just demeanor, his patience, his search for understanding the situation with my daughter, and also that later he also attended the little boy she left behind, who was having trouble in school from trauma that had not been resolved over the early death of his mother. And later, a few years later, or quite a few years later actually, when I was incarcerated in Maple Ridge Prison for Women, I again made a connection with Dr. Mate. As I was incarcerated for interfering with the logging company's ability to strip log the public forests of British Columbia, and which was not looked at kindly by the judges. So this last incarceration, it was a 6-month sentence. So after I settled in at the prison, I was given the job of librarian. I found this job very interesting because it threw me in direct contact with women of the prison, of what they read or what they wanted to talk about or wanted to learn. And it occurred to me that because 80% of these prisoners were First Nations women, if he would come and talk to them about trauma and that they had suffered in their early lives and were still suffering. And he agreed to come, and the prison agreed he could come. So the meeting was set, and it was held in the library, and the women came, and some had heard about Dr. Mate, but it was an incredible meeting. It was extremely emotional, so a lot of it was kind of rough to get through, but I do appreciate Dr. Gabor Mate's ability to make a connection that was peaceful in nature, that was kindly and searching for answers, and no blame, no whisper of blame, but just the urge to make connections. And when after the question period was over and it was time for Dr. Mate to leave, the women didn't want him to go. They kind of clung around him, and because he had made such a deep connection with them, with his patience and his seemingly knowing their pain and their feelings and their hopes, and so it was quite a wonderful meeting that stands out in my mind and will forever. Anyway, yesterday I heard Dr. Mate on an interview with Russell Brand, who is he's pretty weird, but I like him because he's truthful. Anyway, in this interview, I heard a voice that really needs to be heard in this more than just over one station. It needs to be broadcast around the world because Dr. Mate expresses in such a wonderful way while abhorring the attack on Israel, nevertheless understanding and being able to express his understanding of Palestinian lives is an incredible feat. And I think he as one prisoner had described him as, he's an awesome man. So please listen to this interview with Russell Brand. The link I will leave below. And it's rather long, but I find it mesmerizing what he has to say, and as so did the First Nations women back in 1996. So please listen and share. The link is below. Thank you very much. Goodbye.